Hey, welcome back to the PRI Show here. We're the garage shop. We're on the road. This show has been incredible. And we have two really cool people you're going to hear from right now. On the track, she's known as Leah Pruett. In real life now, she's Mrs. Tony Stewart. Newly married to NASCAR team owner and champion Tony Stewart, Leah talks with us about her drag racing and about being married to Tony. We are here with Leah Pruett. Leah Pruett Stewart. What name are you going to go by now?
Great question. On the track, I am Leah Pruett. At PRI, I'm Leah Pruett. But like when I'm doing taxes and stuff, I'll be Leah Stewart.
First of all, congratulations on the marriage,
Thank you.
Tony, and also the new team. What are you most excited about?
Oh man, well, it's all really kind of rolled into one.
Yes.
We got married, 6 days after the World Finals in Mexico, and then we just wrapped that up. Didn't go on a honeymoon, came back, and immediately went to work on the new team because we were that excited about it, and we wouldn't get anything done, or like we'd be on a honeymoon just on our phones, just trying to finish up employment and get parts. So. I'm very excited. Like Matt's team, so Matt Hagan and I, right, both driving for Tony Stewart, racing next year. Matt's team is all-encompassing and really kind of like a finished product. Purchased the trucks and trailers from John Schumacher. That entire team basically stayed together. And you've got Dickie Venables and Mike Knudsen and Alex, and everything's rolling. My program, a little different. Have the trucks and trailers that we purchased from Don, about half the equipment that we had, enough to build one car. We're still waiting on our first chassis. We'll end up having 3, and that'll come in the next couple of weeks. So I know that we're about 54 days away from our first day of testing, and we are working very hard.
I just talked to Tony. He said you guys are living in the motorhome outside the shop.
We are, yes. Well, we live an hour and a half south in Columbus, but to be there, especially right when the doors open, and actually when we get done working at about 5 or 6, then we just move on to the next project, which is the planning phase every night, so that we're more prepared the next day. And other vendors coming in as we're working on projects because they're on work during the day. And then from about 9 to midnight, Tony's been working on the Munchkin midget sprints for Fort Wayne. So it is nothing but this rotating horsepower machine that we live in.
But it was like that before you got married, so you're just, the only change you got married.
That is true.
Yeah.
I think what feels different for me is I'm way more accountable for things, and responsible, and making a lot more imperative decisions, and more people are coming to me and to Tony from a manager standpoint, and I'm enjoying that. I feel like it's a culmination of my being a spot in my career that I'm enjoying a lot. I know Tony is too. For clarity, unfortunately, I'm not running the drag pack next year. It has a very special, spot in my heart in that entire Factory Stock Showdown series, but I'm excited to wholly focus on Top Fuel.
PRI, let's talk about that. You've been coming here for years. How important is it for people that are in the sport that may not come here? Why is it important for them to come to this?
Well, for one, if you're planning for your entire season for your parts, right, and your performance and your relationships, that's what's extremely important. This year, specifically with the supply chain, the way that it is now and how it's forecasting to be, you really need to harness onto those relationships that you have and forecast into it and set yourself up. I feel like if you don't come to this show and you plan to compete in any type of motorsports, you're behind on the technology, and you'll probably be behind with the shipping, and you're just not going to be on your leaderboard. So this show, for me, I have lots of great appearances and meet with the partners on the first 2 days, and then the last day I roll around and I'm checking out heads, and we're looking at brakes, and I'm going over our clutch disc inventory and which different batches that we have, and I'm more on the tech side on Saturday. So it's if you don't come to PRI, I feel like you're missing a lot.
So you're deeply involved in the team. You're not just show up and drive. Everything you just said, I'm like, wow, that was pretty impressive.
Yes, I am, and some of it's from a sales perspective, right, and within contracts and what our deliverables are, but then the other side is I'm excited about it. I get to be part of improving our performance. Like, when we come out, we are hitting hard next year. People have high expectations for the Tony Stewart team, and we're not going to let anything drop.
For the show, what's it like to see all these people come back after a year off?
You kind of forget that COVID's even a thing.
That's what I said earlier. Did last year not happen? Yeah.
It's fantastic. Right, you come in, you really don't even have to wear a sweatshirt to walk over from whatever hotel that you're at. And people thought it was either going to be not packed or it's, you know, oversaturated, and I think it's just perfect. And you're here because you need to be here. Everyone's here because you need to be here, not particularly because you want to. Like, it's imperative to your business or it's imperative to your sport, and I feel like it's the same thing that I thought about SEMA. You are getting a lot more prioritization done, I feel like, after COVID than I've seen before.
Okay, this is on a little personal side. I'm going to ask you because we all have known Tony for 20-something years.
Oh boy.
You're a beautiful, intelligent woman. Why Tony Stewart? Why?
That's great. No,
really?
That's a fantastic question. He's the first person that I've ever met that has made me feel like the most honest individual to myself.
Wow.
And not, you know, we all put on our best shoes here, there, and everywhere. We started dating right before COVID happened. Then we were quarantined together for 4 months. We didn't let anybody in the world know because we're like, what if this doesn't work out? You know, like,
Sure.
So we almost put our worst foot forward first. We're telling each other all of our stories, and you know, like, well, I did this, blah, blah, blah.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah. And then we just formed this amazing just bond, friendship, chemistry, all of that. And we get to be big kids in a big adult world together is what it feels like.
Perfect. And your social media presence, and he's never really been one, but now all of a sudden you're showing him boating, you're showing you guys doing. I'm like, what's up with Tony? Like, and I compliment you. We've never seen that side of the personal side, so I think it's a big compliment to you.
Oh, thank you. And it has turned into a competition now.
I'm sure it has.
Yes. So I have hired his company that he owns, True Speed Communications, to help me with mine. They ramped his up, and then I heard on a call they were talking about, we need to get above Leah's, and I'm like,
why?
Well, okay, well then fine, I'm gonna amp mine out. So,
very good.
Yes.
Well, thank you for talking to us. Good luck this year. Congrats on the marriage, and have a great year. I think you're going to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Thank
I
you.
appreciate
it. Thank you very much, Leah Pruett. While we're in the Top Fuel drag racer mode, we got to talk to Clay Millican. Awesome individual, great driver, been doing this for years. Absolutely loves what he does. The passion is so good with that guy, and you'll see that in the interview. He's also follows what we're doing here at the garage shop, and you know, we're building a streamliner back there in Denver, North Carolina, and we might have had a little conversation or kind of brought that up of maybe who would drive it. Talking with Clay Millican, Top Fuel NHRA driver, 8th in points this year, awesome individual. How's the PRI show going for you?
I tell you what, I'm having a blast. It's after what the whole world's been through the last however long that's been, it's awesome to be at the show, no mask, people everywhere, and I love the PRI show because it is like shiny race car parts everywhere. I love it.
How was your season? Talk to us.
We had a good year. You know, we had a few final rounds. We went a lot of rounds. You know, it was, it's always a challenge. It doesn't matter, you know, you can win the championship or not, but it's like a yo-yo. Up, down. You know, some weekends you're the king, some weekends you're not, but there is nothing I love more on this earth than stomping on the loud pedal of that Top Fuel car, and I'm doing it again next year. You know, that's kind of the normal question this time of year. Are you all set?
Are you all set? You got a
so
deal.
It is 100% silly season right now, and I'm very glad to say I'm not part of it.
And you're still with Stringer
Parks
Performance?
Plus, Stringer Performance. We're, this is we'll be going into my 12th year with Parks Plus.
Very good.
And old Doug, who's standing off camera over here, his thing is, I guess we're doing this. You know, we're just going. We're still going. You know.
Do you still get that same feeling after 12 years, whatever? Every week when you go there and you're at that line and you're at the tree, and you just everything's going. Same feeling still?
Oh man, I would stop if that ever quits happening. There's something about that whole process, you know, of helmet on, seatbelts tight, and then, you know, in the nitro cars, they clear the motor out. When I hear that starter clear the motor out and I'm sitting behind that water box, I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. You know, I still get that. And people say, do you get nervous? I still do.
Good.
You know, especially before the first qualifying round, the butterflies land in there, and I've done it thousands of times. 20 plus years driving, 12 years with Parks Plus. So I've been driving Top Fuel cars for over 20 years. That whole process still excites me. And I've got to do so many cool things because of my job. I mean, I've jumped out of airplanes. I rode with the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds.
Nice.
I still love it. Still love it.
Speaking of loving, talk to me about this car here. So you're all over. You like this.
So you notice when I come up, everybody's like, you know, I'm trying to say hi, but all I really wanted to do was look at this Bobby Isaac, number 71 K&K Insurance Dodge. So these cars, ran when I was a very small kid. 69, 70, 71, I think.
69, 70, yep.
Yep, 69, 70. So I have little vague memories of being at Daytona with my daddy and seeing this K&K Insurance car, seeing the petty blue car coming out of the turn. I can vaguely remember that, but it stuck with me. And I have a fascination with the wing cars. I am, deep down inside, a Mopar guy. I love the Mopar things. I love the Hemi thing. Obviously, the Top Fuel cars run on Hemis. And this is beautiful. I've been following along on YouTube. This car, the Torino, everything I've been following, and I enjoy what you guys are doing. But this is special. This 71 K&K Insurance car is got to be close to one of the most iconic cars there is. I mean, you got
Winston Kelly from the NASCAR Hall of Fame called it the most iconic car in NASCAR history.
I can believe that. In my mind, I'm not going to argue with Winston Kelly on nothing, but in my mind, you got the petty car, the wing petty car, and this car. As a kid, that was, that is still there. I love it.
And now to stand, it might be a replica, but to stand next to, pretty close to what it was, is run at Bonneville in Arkansas and other places. It gets a great reaction. The one you have, we've been getting that through the garage shop everywhere.
I believe it, because I 100% ignored everybody and went straight to this. And I know all you guys. I've known you forever, and yeah, it does that. It's one of those things that if you're our age, kind of, it's like, look at that. That's Bobby Isaac's car.
Speaking of the garage shop, are you aware that we're building a streamliner to take to Bonneville?
I may have heard something about that. And y'all on camera, we're all looking over here because
Doug Stringer and
Aaron Brown.
Our two bosses.
Our two bosses, yes.
And any interest that maybe you like to get behind a wheel? Maybe an interest?
I have been 335 miles an hour in the Top Fuel car.
Right.
So something faster than that always interests me.
Especially at Bonneville.
I've never been, which is
Never been.
hard
It's
to
amazing.
believe.
Amazing place to go.
I was just talking about all the crazy things I've done, and I've never been. So it's on my bucket list.
Stay tuned. We may. Here's the boss right there. No, he said that's just a touch on it there. Yeah, they're talking. No, we're good. No, it's Doug Stringer. Step right in here. Right here. So we're good. Stay on both sides. So we were just teasing that we're talking about the streamliner the garage shop's building, and here's a Top Fuel driver. He said he went 330. I go, well, what's 450? Interest there? I mean, I think if a guy Clay would be amazing.
His butt in the seat.
Yeah.
And personally, I like to see 500, but that's my age. 450 is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do you say there?
I say I know Bonneville's on my bucket list, and I know for a fact it's on yours.
Yes, it
It's
is.
a magical place.
Had so many people talk to us about it and never been to me.
There you go. Well, geez, what a reason to go if
And
you're
the
behind the wheel.
streamliner's pretty close to a dragster.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just a little faster.
But so since
on
we're
an
kind
8-mile course, though, you have to go a lot longer than 4 seconds.
Hey,
yeah.
I know how to stomp on the loud pedal.
But leave it down.
Yeah,
leave
leave
it
it,
down.
but you have to continue.
And I can bet you this: when it leaves going down through there, in this case, Doug's not going to be holding on to his wallet. If I
like
were to
every
do
other
it.
time.
This is very true.
The joys of being an owner, right?
Oh,
We
man.
went fast, but it cost me that much to do it.
We always so when we show up at the track on Friday,
Yeah.
he puts this below his hammer pedal,
Right.
And that's how we race.
And that's your wallet. Perfect.
That's pretty much it. And he always say, "Well, come over to the radio and say it." Like when you do a pedal fest, you kind of got to throw the wallet out, because we're there to win.
Yeah.
And you don't pedal the streamliner, do you?
I don't
No,
know.
no.
I don't know anything about
I don't
it.
either. I just watch them go, and I know they go fast as you know what.
Yeah.
Do they
But,
slip the tires?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I have to talk to the mechanical guys on that. Well, thanks. Good for you. Stay involved in racing as you had. You're on the NASCAR side, and NHRA, and I'm sure a lot of people appreciate your dedication to the sport.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Always working with great people like yourself and Clay, and makes it fun.
Okay, well, stay tuned.
You never know, folks.
You never know. Top Fuel, Streamliner, Bonneville. We'll see.
Deals are put together at PRI Show. Y'all might be seeing one right now.
I feel like I'm in the middle of it.
You are, literally. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Continue success.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Well, I'll tell you, great talking to those two. Amazing talent right there in Top Fuel Dragsters. And I got to say, everybody who's come by the booth here at Safety Clean has seen the iconic Bobby Isaac Dodge Daytona, and they love it. They've been following what we've been doing here, and we appreciate all of you for following. But we need one little thing, one little click. Just hit subscribe. Follow along. You're going to enjoy all the content we have. But we want to thank everybody for coming by here at the booth, and we have more coming up.